Hello, everybody. Welcome to PC's Playbook. This is, I guess, my playbook. Another episode here. I'm a bit late from when I usually post because I was in Charlotte this weekend at the Panthers game. You know, game of the year, game of the century, game of the millennia. It was very fun, and I'm going to talk about that today, as well as some game picks and as well as some, playoff scenarios as we're getting to that time of the year. So yeah, let's get right into it. I have had all of the members of my family on PC's Playbook, and so my mom, of course, was saying, "Hey, I want to be on your show. What do I have to do to get on?" So I said, this was a week ago, watching the Saints game, if the Panthers were to force a fumble on this drive, you can get on. In the next play, they forced a fumble. It was not recovered, but they forced a fumble. So everyone welcome my mom, as promised.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I know so much about football, so this is really appropriate that I'm here.
I mean, you probably know a bit more than Lola does just because you've been with me this entire year.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So, I mean, we obviously, as I said earlier in the intro, we were at the game this weekend.
So fun.
Panthers, Buccaneers. I just want to hear what your experience with it was there.
This game, there's always a game that falls around your birthday. So typically, like one of your birthday presents, instead of a party or something like that, you'll want to go to the Panthers game. Lola was home, so the four of us went, and it was so fun being with you. You were a diehard Panthers fan, and it was a lot more. I was very invested. It was very tense.
Yeah.
It was very tense, and then they ended up pulling it out and winning the game, and it was just fun to be like amongst all the Panthers fans.
Oh yeah, it was so fun. I have not seen the bank, by that I mean the Bank of America.
Got it.
Be loud like that in at least in my life. By life I mean like in my time of being a Panthers fan, I guess. I think I've been a fan since like I guess 2016ish. I just missed kind of the Cam Newton years.
Yeah.
Or like the prime Cam Newton years because I was barely
aware of
life at that time. But yeah, that was the loudest I've seen that place, and definitely the loudest I've ever been to a game. As you know, I've been to games where there's like 100 fans there. Like I was at the game 2 years back where the seats were running for like 20 cents, and we won, but it was awful. But it was so fun.
Yes.
But that was definitely like the most Panthers fans I've ever seen in the stadium, and it was amazing.
I what I also love is that you welcome people to the bandwagon, because when the bandwagon was very empty,
you can check the comments of the last video.
Yes.
Actively am welcoming people.
Yes. So instead of judging people for jumping on a bandwagon now that they have like a very like successful season, I guess we're using in air quotes, you are welcoming people, and I love that about you.
Yeah, I am the type of person that doesn't judge people for bandwagoning on teams, especially teams like people that I actually know, people who do this, who were like Patriots fans and they'd Brady and then switch on to Chiefs fans and now are back to being Patriots fans. Like, come on. But like being a bandwagon Panthers fan that's not a bandwagon. We're 8-7. Like that's just more or less like saying, "Oh, such a nice team."
Yeah, I guess I'll root for them.
The quarterback's a nice young man.
Yeah, he's a nice young man.
It's like saying, "Oh, I'd like for them to win. It'd be kind of cool." It's not really bandwagoning. But yeah, I'm obviously welcoming people. I'm not welcoming anyone in my friend group. If you're watching this, you've hated on us for too long. You're not allowed to cheer for us.
I think you should name names.
I'm not going to do that. Holden.
Holden.
You're not allowed on the bandwagon.
PC has a podcast just to name his friends. I love it.
But yeah, it was amazing. Everyone, played so well on Sunday. I mean, Nick Scorton got the jersey on, had an amazing game. Lathan Ransom had one of the best comeback weeks I've ever seen. Of last week he lost the game for us, and then this week he won the game for us. And then of course Bryce Young, Bryce Younging playing really well every other week.
Hey, get a rhythm to it.
I did call it, I think last episode or 2 episodes ago, that if Bryce Young were to lose to the Saints, we have a better chance to make the playoffs because it goes loss, win every time.
Yeah.
And right now we're loss-win, so now we should lose the Seahawks. Now we're just going to lose the Seahawks.
No bigs.
Speaking of losing the Seahawks, I have promised also game picks.
Let's do it.
With Mom. So yeah, we will be picking the games. Last time I did game picks with a family member. I did with Lola. I destroyed her. Maybe it'll be a bit different this time. And we got some Thursday games on the docket this time, so it'll be a bit more expansive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First up with the Christmas Day games. I always have a bit of a feeling about Christmas Day games because the people were away from their families, especially teams that have played on Christmas and Thanksgiving. But first up, we have the 6-8-1, it's a tie, Cowboys, and the 4-11 Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders are still missing their quarterback, and the Cowboys still are very iffy. I'm taking the Cowboys to win this one, 35-10. I don't think it'll be very close. I think the Cowboys' offense is just too productive, and I think their defense might have their get-back game after basically an entire season of playing horrible. I think this is their game where they show that they can actually be pretty good, especially with Quinn Williams now stepping it up, and being a Pro Bowler, which I'll talk about later. And the Commanders' offense has been bleak recently.
I'm going to go Cowboys as well. That was my instinct. I feel like as a team and a franchise, they're used to playing and having a lot of attention. So I'm going to go with that. We get a question from Anne-Marie Tapke, a loyal viewer of PC's Playbook. How do you feel about teams having to play on Christmas, especially if they had to play on Thanksgiving? Because this affects their fan base, too.
There's been 3 teams. It's the Chiefs, Cowboys, and Lions have played on Thanksgiving and are going to play on Christmas.
So as a fan, if you're a loyal fan, that's taking you away from Christmas Day activities.
I would love to see the Panthers play on one of those days. Just me, personally.
Thanksgiving, I'll allow, but Christmas, I'm going to need your attention as a mother. So, I don't love the Christmas Day games.
Okay, so my take on the Christmas is that it depends on the time. If it's the night game, I'm like, I kind of want to go to sleep. I'm tired. If it's the 4 o'clock game, I'm missing Christmas dinner. But the 1 o'clock game is perfect because right at 1 o'clock, we are at our cousin's house and we've already opened our each present to each other. We have clocked out. We are clocked out. But 1 o'clock game is perfect. That is the Cowboys Commanders game. That is perfect because that's a time where we can sit in the couch and be like, oh, we did it. We made it to Christmas. Everyone's okay. The other 2 games, I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I don't agree. Anyway, continue.
But that's my opinion on that. But so you pick the Cowboys?
Yes.
Do you have a score in mind?
I think it's going to be closer. I think it's going to be like a 24 to 17.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Pretty good score.
Yeah.
Next up is the 8-7 Lions against the 7-8 Vikings. The Vikings are on a huge win streak here, and the Lions are on a losing streak here of not. I guess they've only really lost kind of 1 in a row, but they've been on a kind of slump recently of not being the old Lions that they used to be of winning 15 games last year. I'm still gonna pick the Lions. I think I have them 27-21. I think it's be close, but also a good distance. They might be able to kneel it out at the end without too much drama in this game. The Vikings have been good, but they've also not really been playing that many good teams. And the Vikings might be without David Montgomery this week, which is going to make them better, I think. I am the biggest David Montgomery hater on earth because Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the NFL. I think they give him too many touches. Mom, do you have a...
Oh, I'm going to go Lions because I am a bandwagon Lions fan because of Anne-Marie and Carolina Tapke.
Yes. All right. Do you have a score?
No, I don't. I'm just not even going to try a score. It's going to be, I have to do a score, I guess. 28-21.
You don't have to do a score if you don't want to.
It'll save you time if I don't have to do a score.
Okay, then you have to do a score. No scores.
No score.
Next up is the 12-3 Broncos against the 6-9 Chiefs. The Chiefs are without their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and lost to the worst team in the NFL last week. I'm obviously picking the Broncos.
I'm picking the Broncos because my friends Scott and Katie Rohrig live in Denver, and she used to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader, so I'm going to cheer for the Broncos.
Not only does the Broncos have the better record and the Chiefs, the quarterback, the Chiefs are their 3rd-string quarterback. They lost their backup last week after getting crushed. So, yeah, that's Broncos for me by 30. It's waiting for me close.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the 10-5 Texans against the 11-4 Chargers. The Texans are in a huge 6-game winning streak here from going 4-5 start of the season. I think they were 3-5 actually at one point, and are now 10-5, of course. The Chargers are, charging ahead. I guess they've been pretty consistent all season. I'm taking the Texans. They have the best defense in the NFL right now by a pretty large margin, and I don't see that slowing down, especially in the 7-game winning streak here.
I'm going to take the Chargers. Because they're from LA, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of friends that are Chargers fans, so I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah. Next up, we have the 7-8 Ravens against the 9-5-1 Packers. I have really no feeling about this game except for it really depends on what the quarterback situation is. There's a chance that both starting quarterbacks in this game are out, as Lamar has a back contusion. Jordan Love has, I forgot what injury it was, but he's questionable for this game. And so if both quarterbacks are out, I do see the Packers winning this game. If Lamar plays, I kind of still see the Packers winning this game. I think they're a better team. The Ravens have been so inconsistent this year. So I have the Packers coming out with this one.
I'm going to go Ravens because my friend Hillary Trader is from Baltimore.
So you're just picking off of if you have a friend cheering for them.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ravens. For no other reason in that I love my friend Hillary. And
Shout out Hillary.
Shout out Hillary.
Next up, we have the game of the millennia.
Game of the millennia.
Seahawks, Panthers. The Seahawks are 12-3. Panthers are 8-7. Okay, here's my take. The Panthers have played the best team in the NFL. Like the team that is number one in the power rankings, standings, whatever, twice this year. They're 2-0.
Yes.
They're 2-0. It will be 2-1.
Oh, no. I have a friend who cheers for the Panthers, and by friend I mean my son, so therefore I'm picking the Panthers. I think the Panthers do a better job when they are really, truly the underdogs, and they have something to prove. They're going to be playing in Charlotte, right? And I think that's a really good fan base. They're going to be really loud, and I think that, they're going to pull it out. It's going to stun everybody. And it's going to be amazing.
I really hope you're right about this one.
Will you play this clip on your next podcast when they win?
Yes, when they win.
Okay.
I really hope you're right about this one. I am completely banking off of the theory that it truly is we have made a deal with the devil to win every other game.
Well, here's standby. I was a dancer. I was not like on a team. I wasn't an athlete in that way. Watching you and your sister play sports, her tennis, you basketball, you do better, you perform better against better opponents. You play your best basketball against a really good team. She played her best tennis against people who were like Division I tennis players, right? Mm-hmm. It was the teams that were the opponents that weren't as skilled that you would struggle because you're like, wait, this is not...
The Saints, if you will.
The Saints, if you will, right? So I do think the Panthers rise to the occasion. I think they're going to win. I want you to play this clip next week.
I do really hope you're right. I think right now it does not matter who the opponent is. I think it truly is every other game. They made a deal with the devil. And I'm banking off of that right now. And
okay.
I'm picking the Seahawks. This is the one pick that I really hope I'm wrong about. I will say they have... So far, I've done 2 other game picks. I did one with Lola and one with myself. And I'm 0-2 so far on the game picks. I picked the Falcons to beat us, and we beat the Falcons. And I picked us to beat the Niners, and they beat the Niners. Or the Niners beat us. So I'm hoping that I go 0-3 here.
Okay, so you're maybe doing this out of superstition.
I also do believe that we probably lose to the Seahawks. They're the best team in the NFL right now. And have probably one of the better defenses I've ever seen.
Fair.
Next up, we have the 7-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, boo, against the 6-9 Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are on their backup quarterback after benching their starter in a bit of a controversial move, especially after he had such a rocky start of the season and then started picking up a little bit, and then they benched him. A bit confusing, but now they have a very important game for the Panthers against the Buccaneers. I will be going with the Buccaneers in this game just because the Dolphins lost by like 30 points last week, and I can't really trust them to win a game. Granted, if the Dolphins do beat the Buccaneers and the Panthers do beat the Seahawks, like you say, then they're in the playoffs. The Panthers are. But I'm picking the Buccaneers here, and I'm seeing this battle between the Panthers and the Bucs go to Week 18.
I grew up in Florida. I grew up south of Tampa, but I grew up in the Bradenton, Sarasota area when the Bucks were so bad. They called them the Succaneers. So our family, my family cheered for the Dolphins growing up. So they were huge. Like my uncles were big Dolphins fans. So I'm going to root for the Dolphins, and I have a lot of good friends. I love a lot of good friends who live in both cities. Dolphins.
Dolphins? All right. Again, I hope you're right here.
Yeah.
Another one of those.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the 9-6 Steelers, Pittsburgh, against the 3-12 Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, okay.
Big game for both teams here. Pittsburgh. The Steelers, I believe, clinched with a win into the playoffs, and they clinched the division. But it is in Cleveland, and, they have a history Cleveland has of, making chaos in that division, even though they can never really win it. So I'm going to be picking the Cleveland Browns. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to go out there and just make a statement. Maybe it'll be snowing. I don't know. I haven't checked the weather for that game yet. But as someone who does like watching the Ravens in the playoffs, especially Lamar Jackson, I am hoping that the Cleveland Browns can pull us one out.
Okay, I dated a guy who lived in Pittsburgh, and that did not end well. So no to Pittsburgh. My godson, Nico Ventosa, lives outside of Cleveland. So I go to Cleveland, like once a year, and I have some good friends. My Tiffany Tucker Rands is an anchor in Cleveland, so I'm going to say Cleveland.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So we're both picking against the heavy favorite. Love it. And
for different reasons.
Shout out to all of my mom's friends and also her ex-boyfriend that didn't work out.
Did not work out. Well, obviously, and I'm glad it didn't. Oh, that was never going to work out, let's be honest.
Next up, we have the 11-4 Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the 8-7 Indianapolis Colts. The Colts still have the grandfather playing quarterback. The Jags are on a huge run here. Of looking like one of the better teams in the NFL, and for that reason, I'm picking the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty easily.
I should pick Jacksonville because they are a team from Florida, and I grew up from Florida. But I'm going for what's the
Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. But what's the guy's name?
Phillip Rivers.
I am the biggest Phil Rivers fan right now. I think he is. Like, I'm older than him, but just barely. And the fact that he's competing, he's putting himself in the way of like getting tackled by these ginormous humans. I think I'm a big Phil Rivers
fan. The
fan.
Jags have someone named Josh Hines Allen who might kill Phillip Rivers.
I know, which is why I feel like I need to cheer for him, and so I'm going to go for the Colts.
Okay. Next up, we have the 12-3 Patriots visiting the heavy underdog 3-12 New York Jets. I got one word for you. Jets out the way. No, I'm kidding. Patriots are going to win this pretty easily. I would love to say that the Jets are going to pull off an upset here, especially against Patriots, who I do not have. I mean, I love their quarterback. He went to UNC. I'm a big UNC guy. But the Patriots organization as a whole, I don't like that they always win. Makes me mad. But I'm going to pick the Patriots here because it's one of the most lopsided matchups you've seen all year.
Okay. That being said.
Here we go.
Yeah. I lived in New York for a time, and I just love an underdog. I love a good underdog story. Nothing against the Patriots at all, but I'm going to go for the Jets, and it's going to be a huge headline. Something's going to happen, and the Jets are going to win.
Okay, love that. I would love that to happen.
I want you to play this clip.
We're going to play so many clips next week.
Yeah.
So a lot of clips we have to play now.
I think because they play in the stadium where we went to the Eras Tour, right? Therefore,
I have no idea where you went to the Eras Tour. Was it MetLife?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'm going to pick the Jets.
That's why Lola picked the Jets last time.
Yeah.
Did not work out for her. Next up, we have the 5-10 New Orleans Saints on a roll here against the 3-12 Tennessee Titans. Also on a bit of a roll here. Two very bad teams looking pretty good recently.
Looking average.
Looking very average recently. but one team looks a bit more average. That's the New Orleans Saints. They have been beating, I wouldn't say good teams, but decent teams. They beat the Panthers and the Jets back-to-back. The Jets game last week looking dominant. And the Titans beat Gardner Minshew on a torn ACL. So I'm going to be taking the New Orleans Saints here. I think Cam Ward has no help around him, and Shuck has a little bit more help. So not Cam Ward. New Orleans Saints are going to win this game.
Okay. So New Orleans, love the city. And Tennessee Titans?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's the city they play in?
Nashville.
So my daughter goes to school in Nashville, so I'm going to pick the Titans.
All right. Well, I would love that. You know, as a professional Saints hater, I would appreciate that very much. But I mean, I'm just trying to pick off of pure knowledge.
No, I shun knowledge.
Okay. Next up, we have the 3-12 Arizona Cardinals against the 5-10 Cincinnati Bengals. Cardinals have been actually getting some decent offensive production recently with Jacoby Brissett, and so have the Bengals. I mean, this game is probably going to be very high scoring, but the defenses are both just awful. But I think the Bengals' offense is just a bit more high scoring than the Cardinals, leading to them, I think, winning this game. But it'll be a shootout, and it'll probably be closer than people expect. Jacoby Brissett has been balling recently, but, you know, Burrow's back. Jamar is back to his prime. Chase Brown looks good. I'm picking the Bengals.
I'm picking the Bengals because I used to cheer for the Bengals, like just as a spectator, because I really like their helmets.
They do have a nice little, like, striped helmets.
They have the striped helmets, and I think that's pretty... I like that, so I'm going to go Bengals.
Nice. All right. I mean, this year the best looking helmets have been the Panthers. I'm just saying that those black helmets look nice. That's all I'm saying. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. Oh, good Lord. Next up, we have the Tank Bowl. The 2-13 Giants at the 2-13 Las Vegas Raiders.
Oof.
It's more or less who's going to lose this game. The loser is the winner in this situation. I think both fan bases are cheering for the opposite team.
Why?
Because the loser has the front runner for the number one pick, and the winner does not. It's the Tank Bowl, because they're both 2-13. So I am picking the Raiders to lose this game, so Giants to win. But really, the Raiders are winning this game in a sense. But yeah, Raiders are going to lose. They're just better at losing. Quite frankly, the Giants have had some tough matchups and have really shown that they can be good. But the Raiders have not shown they can be good. They had like a few good games, I guess. They beat the Patriots, but that was week 1, and no one was really knowing how good the Patriots were, especially not even the Patriots. So yeah, the Raiders are going to lose this one and get the number 1 pick and get Fernando Mendoza.
I don't love the business model of tanking any game, but I know they do it, and it is a business model. But I think the Giants are going to win because I think they also play in that same stadium where I saw the Eras Tour.
They are playing in Las Vegas this game.
But they're an East Coast team. We're East Coast people. I'm going to go Giants, yeah.
All right. I will say the tanking model is, it's very flawed, but people, they don't intentionally lose the game. Sometimes there's like things like, oh, we dropped it on purpose, something like that. But because these players do want to get paid. Right. And they do want to get extensions, and they do want to have something to go into free agency with and maybe get traded with. So they do want to play well. But I love the tanking model just because you look at other sports to see what their model is. Mm-hmm. The NBA's model is completely broken. Like, it is just I am a livid hater of the draft lottery just because of like the worst team in the NBA. They don't tank, but they're just awful. Gets like the number 5 pick every year. And then one of the better teams looking in the NBA, the team that has Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis,
will get the first
gets
pick.
The number 1 pick. And then, like, as a Hornets fan, we've not gotten the number 1 pick in a long time, maybe even ever. I haven't really checked the history of that. But we are getting like screwed over every single year by these teams that are a lot better than us and do not need to pick as much as us. It's very annoying. So the tanking model, I guess, of like just the worst team gets the best pick, blah, 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 is, I think, a lot better in that sense.
Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Next up, we have the 10-5 Eagles against the 11-4 Buffalo Bills. Both teams already clinched a playoff spot, but the Eagles don't really have much to fight for here. They're already clinched a 3-seater above. The Panthers can't really pass them if they do win out. Or I think if they did just like there's some tiebreaker or something like that, it'd be weird if they could. but the Eagles don't really have much to fight for besides, I guess, I don't know if they can fight for the 2 seed at this point with the Bears. It's a very confusing kind of tiebreaker thing. But there's a chance that they don't even play their starters in this game.
Oh.
So for that chance, and even if they do, I'm still picking the Bills. I think there's a better team. They're a Super Bowl contender, and they have the better quarterback. I don't really know how I feel about Jalen Hurts. But yeah, I got the Bills in this game.
My friend Mo from The Amazing Race will often sing the Star Spangled Banner at a Bills game, and they're from Buffalo.
Oh, I remember Mo. I love
Mike
Mo.
and Mo. Yeah, they're cops in Buffalo.
I met Mo at a Starbucks last year.
Yes, he came to visit. So I'm going to say the Bills.
Next up, 11-4 Bears versus 11-4 49ers. One of the better looking games on the schedule this entire year, just because, the team that loses moves down to like the 6th seed and maybe even the 7th seed in the NFC, and the team who wins moves up to like the 1 seed or the 2 seed, depending on how other games go.
Okay.
There's a huge stakes on this game. Bears look like one of the better teams in the NFL, but the Niners look like the best team in the NFL. It's going to be a very fun game. But the Niners just destroyed the Colts, who looked so good at the beginning of the season. Their defense looked so good, and they just scored, I think, 6 touchdowns on them. So I'm picking the Niners to win this one on Sunday Night Football.
I'm going to go for the Bears because when I was younger, the Bears won the Super Bowl, and they did this video called the Super Bowl Shuffle. Have you seen that?
I've seen a parody of it.
Yeah, the Super Bowl Shuffle. I think you should play a clip of that in this podcast. And therefore, I've always liked the Bears as a franchise. I'm going to say the Bears.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is the 11-4 Rams against the 6-9 Falcons. Rams, they've lost to some really good teams, like the Panthers, this season, and have really, besides the Panthers, haven't really lost to like a bad team. I think they lost to the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Panthers, and one more that I completely forgot here, and it might be a bad team. But besides that, they have done very well against these like low ranking teams and really just blown them out like they did against the Cardinals. So I'm picking the Falcons to win this game because I want to, quite frankly. There's nothing that should suggest that they should win this game, which is exactly why I like them to win this.
But does it help the Panthers if they
win? It
win?
does help the Panthers if the Falcons win, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like the Falcons lose and we're in, and like something like that. But there's a scenario where if the Falcons win out and the Panthers were to lose out, but the Bucs were to lose to the Miami Dolphins and the Panthers would be in. It's a very, very specific scenario. But yeah, I'm picking the Falcons to win this as a surprise, big headline matchup.
Okay, and who's the other team?
LA Rams.
Well, I think I don't know if my friends in LA are Rams fans or Chargers fans.
No one's Chargers fans.
No one is?
No one.
Okay, I'm going to say Rams because I think they're Rams fans.
They probably are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet there to pick that team. So that's all the games from this week. I will be reviewing these on next week's episode, like I did for Lola. At least just like saying, "Oh, I won" or "Oh, I lost." Yeah. And if those things happen, we will play the clips.
Okay.
I promise you. Do you want to stay on for any longer for any more segments?
Of course. I'll just hang out. You bring me on when you need.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll just lay back.
Sure. I'm going to be discussing some playoff scenarios going into this week. There are very few amount of teams still in the playoff race, the Panthers being one of them. We love them. So going into week 17, starting with the Panthers in their playoff scenarios, they can clinch if they beat the Seahawks and the Bucs lose to the Dolphins. That has like a 10% chance of happening. But likely one of those teams would either win, or like the Bucs would win or the Panthers would lose. One of those things would happen. And no matter what, if that specific scenario of the Panthers winning and the Bucs losing does not happen, the Panthers need to beat the Bucs in Week 18. Granted, that's also the whole Falcons thing. I'm not even going to discuss that right now. I already kind of talked about that. But it really is going to come down to kind of a playoff game in Week 18 in Tampa, which is, it's very hard to beat a team twice, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But, it is December, maybe even January, meaningful football. That is January meaningful football, which the city of Charlotte has not seen since 2017, 2015. So I'm very excited about that. Elsewhere in the NFC, the only real battle for getting in or getting out of the playoffs is with the Lions and the Packers. The Packers need to lose out, I believe, and the Lions need to win out. Which isn't very likely, considering how, I guess, the Lions have a bit of a tough schedule coming up. And the Packers, I mean, they play the Ravens, but the Ravens might not even be with their quarterback. So I don't see anything really changing with that 7 and 8 seed race, but I do see some things going different inside the whole schedule, or I guess format of the NFC, especially with the Seahawks currently at the 1 seed, and then the Bears being up there. The Eagles and the Panthers might stay 3 and 4, but it could go Niners number 1. It could go Bears number 1. It could go Rams number 1. It could be really anyone, even the Seahawks, who are currently number 1, but I don't really have too much trust in them right now. The Rams are the 6 seed right now, but that could be the 1 seed in 1 week. Seahawks are the 1 seed; they could be the 6 seed in 1 week. It is a crazy structure right now, but the only real trend I see happening is I see the Niners shooting up number 1, beating the Seahawks in Week 18. The Bears staying 2, 3 and 4 staying the same, and then probably the Rams, Seahawks, and then the Packers being that 1 through 7.
That sounds like calculus to me. I think you just did BC calculus.
Who are your 1 through 7 picks?
I don't know if I can name 7 teams right now.
So we'll take that's
copy paste whatever you just said.
All right, so Niners, Bears, Eagles, Panthers, Rams, Seahawks, Packers.
Yep.
Got it. Perfect. On the AFC side, it's a bit more interesting for the top and less for the 7, 8. I think the 7 currently in the playoffs are going to stay the same, a lot like the NFC. And that being, Broncos, Patriots, Jags, the other division, I completely forgot. I'm blanking. Wow. Steelers. Wow. And then, of course, the 5, 6, and 7 of just kind of whoever plops in after that, being the Chargers, the Texans, or the Bills. Of course, the Bills are already clinched. The Patriots, I kind of see finishing in 13 wins, 14 win area, and I think they're going to clinch the division and get either the 1 or the 2 seed with the Broncos. I think those can be interchangeable of 1 or 2, Broncos and Patriots. The 3 I see staying the same with the Jags, and the 4 I also see the Steelers staying there. The 5 through 7 is more interesting because the Bills, they could lose a game and drop down below the Texans or below the Chargers. But they could also very much stay at 5 and be a threat to go into Pittsburgh and wipe them out and then have a pretty good schedule to go to the Super Bowl. But I kind of see it staying as Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Bills, Texans, Chargers in this, because I feel like that Texans-Chargers game will be very interesting this week, and I think if the Texans were to win that, which I think they will, they'll flip out that 6 seed, maybe even the 5, I think, if the Bills were to lose a game. But it's more or less that 5 through 7 area that's more interesting to me, because there's a lot of flip-flop that could happen, especially with head-to-head matchups. The Texans beat the Bills already this season, and if they beat the Chargers, they have the advantage over both teams, and all they need is 1 loss from those teams. Mom?
Same. Oh my gosh, same. I was about to say the exact same thing.
You're going to say the exact same thing? No problem with it?
No problem with it.
No problem with it? You think the Panthers can sneak into that window?
Yes.
They're not in that conference.
Oh.
Trying your best.
I'm trying my best.
I will ask you, out of the teams in the AFC that are in the playoff picture, that being, I've already listed them here, but the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jags, the Steelers, the Bills, the Texans, the Chargers, are there any teams that you specifically think could face the Panthers in the Super Bowl?
Obviously, the Panthers are going to go to the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to be the Broncos.
The Broncos, oh, God.
Broncos, Panthers, Super Bowl.
Oh, God, not again.
2026. It's going to happen.
We're just recreating 2015.
I know. It's going to, but this time the Panthers, I want you to play this clip. The Panthers are going to the Super Bowl, y'all, against the Broncos, and this time we're going to win.
If that is correct, I will
prophecy
100% play this clip.
Yes.
And
it is Christmas Eve 2025.
It is Christmas Eve 2025. It'll probably be Christmas when I post this because it takes a while to edit. Especially there's 2 people on the entire episode. It takes a long time to edit, and I might not edit this until later tonight. It is Christmas Eve 2025. The Panthers are playing the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I can supply proof. December 24th.
Yep. Got it.
Panthers are playing the Broncos in the Super Bowl, guys. It's happening.
Yeah, happening.
Who's going to win Super Bowl MVP?
What?
Who's going to win Super Bowl MVP?
A guy I don't know the name of.
Bryce Young. He's in the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP. Yep.
Speaking of prophecy, the NFL released the Pro Bowl rosters this week. I'm not sure how this connects to prophecy. I think I just kind of used the P in prophecy and moved on to Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
It was very controversial for many reasons. My main reason is how the NFL just refuses to have any respect for any Panthers players. J.C. Horn got in very deservingly. But the fact that one of the best defensive tackles, if not the best defensive tackles in the NFL, Derek Brown, did not make it and wasn't even mentioned as a snub on the ESPN. Was like biggest snubs, and they didn't even mention not Jalen Carter, he made it. They didn't even mention Derek Brown, which was just like awful. I've been talking about this a lot with my dad a lot. It's insane how this year especially they have been paying zero respect to any member of the Panthers organization just because it's not like a big market team. It's not like a team that everyone like it's not like the Chiefs who like everyone is always looking at, always wants to see, and they never like talk about the Panthers and they never think of them as a good team. It is so insanely disrespectful that just because this guy plays for a team that isn't as popular, that he's just not getting the same recognition. And if you look at the tape, if you look at the stats, if you like eye test anything, he's probably the best defensive tackle in the NFL. He probably is. I think it was Mina Kimes said it best. He has my vote for DPOY. He's the best defensive tackle in the NFL. He completely changes the way the game is on the other team. It's the run stopping, the pass stopping. It does not matter. And he did not get into the Pro Bowl, and I'm very mad about that.
Mm-hmm. You guys have been talking about this a lot.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot. Also, Bryce Young should be a Pro Bowler. No. But J.C. Horn, of course, made it because he's the best cornerback in the NFL. But, that's, of course, frustrating when, your best player doesn't make a Pro Bowl roster. He'll probably make it as an alternate, which is, I guess, nice. But, not making it as an official was always like...
Yeah.
I do like that how that might have him, like, a bit...
A chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and I believe the Seahawks have one of them in there, a Pro Bowler at his position. And so be the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. Easy peasy.
Well, I have kind of other things to talk about.
I have a lot of stuff to do for Christmas Eve.
We all do.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, do you want anything you want to add about football?
I have exhausted my knowledge of football.
My dad is not joined us.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast. This was fun.
Yes, and I hope you enjoyed the second half of it of me just talking and you sitting there.
I did. I love to hear you.
Honey, what did you learn in the last 30 minutes? I've been downstairs folding laundry.
Oh, that's nice.
I've learned so much.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you about it later. Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.